What's up, y'all? I'm Shaquille Sunflower by the head, but I'm busy.
I really hate you.
Brother Rock, take me home.
Brother Rock, take me home.
Okay.
Najee Rumba.
God, run but not deep.
Ramanazi.
Man, yeah, you right. Y'all right.
Woo, I
But
was
I'm
not
busy.
expecting that. Right.
Oh God, I'm Adrian.
I'm Danae.
And this is Bud,
Actually,
Decent.
the
The
podcast.
podcast. Woo, woo, woo.
I had a
something
feeling
really
that
wrong
joke
with
was
y'all.
gonna
Why would
hit.
y'all
That's why I
start
waited.
something like
Yeah,
that?
that's why I
Like,
waited.
why
That
would
was
y'all do that?
perfect. That was
I'm telling y'all,
absolutely
mamas.
perfect.
I'm telling y'all, mamas.
What's going
Right
on,
on
y'all? How
time.
y'all feeling, man?
Greetings.
We
Feeling
in the
good.
beginning of October.
Yes.
Yes, we
Somebody has
are.
a birthday in October.
Well, I wonder
Somebody,
who.
somebody got a big B day coming up. Child,
Mm.
I ain't doing nothing. But
Nah.
but I am not gonna be at work. Okay.
Okay.
And you are gonna be what? Horizontal.
Yeah.
We
If
should
it's on the
really get that
side
on the
table,
t-shirt. That's
that
one
should
that's
be
gonna
a
stick.
t-shirt.
That's
Yeah.
Love
it.
being horizontal.
Boop. Okay.
Talk about
Because we
merch.
can. I would love a couple hours of being horizontal. Maybe give me a day.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna try to go to that Air Ancient Baths. I've
Oh
never
man.
been
those
there. I've
are
heard that
beautiful.
it's awesome. I heard
Oh,
it's
it's beautiful.
so
Oh, can
tight.
I tell you one thing?
Yeah.
Can you do they have a
Yes,
part, at least they
that's
had
true.
this when I went, where you had to swim under a window to get
Swim, like get my hair wet.
oh well yeah.
Tell me you're a
I
black
mean, I
woman.
could, but
Sorry. But yeah, so you swim under a window in like a jacuzzi. You swim under this window and it's outside and it's like a waterfall. It's like
okay.
heated. It is. I was in there like having the time of my life. And I
Mm.
also told
Okay, so
myself
I
that
need my
people were
swimming
having
cap.
affairs. But that's neither here nor there. I was like, yeah, they
Oh.
cheat. I could tell. That's why I don't know. But yes, then I want you
No,
to do
you
that
know
before you
why? Cheaters have a vibe. You could tell.
go.
Shifty eyed is what they are.
Shifty.
They
And
shifty.
we are
Those
representatives
old
of
beady
yeah.
ass.
Beady, shifty eyes. But yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. I don't really
Oh,
have any
I
big
love it.
plans, but
True that. True that.
grateful, thankful.
25 again.
Yeah, all that. All that. But how was you all's weekend, Brian?
My weekend was pretty good. We went on a cancer walk on Sunday. And
Why you didn't
Okay.
have a pink shirt on? Everybody else had on pink, you had on red.
right, because my red shirt was in memory of
Oh,
auntie. So that's a
okay.
color she loves.
I'm
So
sorry.
yeah, so shout out to all the survivors out there. We praying for all of the people that have dealt with, cancer themselves firsthand or had a family member.
Mhm.
And this is breast cancer awareness month. October is right.
It is.
Shout out to my mom who's a breast cancer survivor.
Yes.
So glad to have you here still.
Well,
Everybody loves you. You are very loved. So
Aw,
so yeah. And then
very.
Saturday, so love. Thank y'all for not doing the GD hearts too. Anyway, Saturday was it's Saturday is always fun filled with gymnastics and ballet, not for myself, but for my children. And yeah, going here.
you could probably do a
Here
little plie.
plie. Real nigga plie. Ugh.
Dumb play.
So yeah, my weekends are always busy and I barely remember them. On to you, Danae. Or on to you, Adrian. I was about to say you muted yourself. It's like she
I
don't want
know.
to talk.
Yeah.
I had to cough, but that's okay. Adrian, you can go ahead.
A
My
professional. That's a professional
weekend
right there.
was very slow. Um, I don't think I moved my car on Saturday.
That's needed
I
sometimes.
I slept well into 1:30. Um, I still worked out. Um, I had a very good little ice cream and stuff like that, and I watched Inside Out too, and I was chilling. I was chilling.
What kind of ice cream was it?
It was so Ben and Jerry has like this the kind that's made with almond milk, and it's like a fudge brownie kind of thing. It's for sure lasts me about 8 days because I just have like a couple spoons, like because it's like you easily like eat the whole thing, but
For sure.
it was good, and that was a big one for me and getting some sleep. So that was my weekend. I wasn't out in these streets. I was not.
I thought you was. My bad. I was just gonna say. I thought you was gonna say it was Lorenzo's. The ones I had sent you was banana pudding. You heard of that tonight?
Oh no! Remember I said I was a plant-based one. You said they had all the dairy.
Listen, well, yeah, it do got all the dairy.
All the dairy. Somebody will be sounding like,
stay away.
But it is fire though. How'd you hear about them?
I think through you.
Hilarious. I didn't know I was a plug like that. But yeah,
we 9 times out of 10.
That's funny. If you're looking for some banana pudding that's like it's just so good. It's just frozen. You eat some, boom. Cause you don't feel like making banana pudding all the time. So banana pudding ice cream from Lorenzo's, really good. You can find it at I think it's at Jewel in the city and then Walgreens in the city too. So shout out to them. Good people over there.
Shout out.
Nay, how about you? How was your weekend?
Yeah. Saturday I was able to sleep in. That was nice. And I did not have to work, which was the last few Saturdays I've had to go into work, whether it be a half a day, part day. So it was nice to not really have anything to do earlier in the day, but I did eventually have to go to work for a Booster Club fundraiser that we had going on.
And what you do? Hit them over the head.
Crack them.
I Lord, we need sponsors.
Right. Cracked them in some bingo. Ooh, I was so close to winning the $500 game, y'all. Like I was right there. I needed 2 because you had to cover your entire board on the last game. So like, and the pamphlet was really cool because they had different ways that you could win. It was like regular bingo, of course. Then my school is the Vikings, so you had to win in a V. Now North is a school, so an N or different, plenty different kinds of ways that you could win each game. But that $500 one, I was going after it, and
that would have been nice.
I mean, but I won my money back and some, so that was nice.
Okay,
and that night ended really early. I generally don't drive. I don't like to drive on Saturday nights because people be crazy out in the street.
They do.
And I experienced that on my way home. I felt like people were just like, they was jumping 4 lanes, like you going all the way from the right, all the way to the left.
Where are you trying to get to?
And we in traffic. So where you going? Like, chill out. So just if I'm going somewhere on Saturday nights, I'm usually in an Uber. So that threw me off. On my way home. When I got home, I was like, all right, thank you, Lord. Now I'm about to get horizontal. Sunday, we went to brunch. Me and my boo thing went to brunch. And it was some okay, stop.
I love that song.
Stop it. We had some good food. We went to the Delta. It's in like Wicker Park. Good food, good vibes, and
was they strolling?
They were not strolling, but it was a beautiful day outside, so they had like the windows up, and I love to see Black folks having a good old time.
Who don't? Well, a lot.
And
of
I
people
love
don't,
a good grit.
We do.
The grits was on point. Everything was on point. We literally didn't have anything that wasn't good, like from the drinks to. And we had bottomless mimosas, but then we had to be Black and add a little Hennessy in ours.
Nothing wrong with that. I don't want you to think that you did nothing wrong, Queen. You ain't do nothing wrong, Queen.
Somebody that will remain named. Well, I don't care. My sister she works there. And so she was like, it looked like y'all drinking apple juice. She said somebody was like, is that apple juice there? I didn't see it on the menu. Different kind of apple juice.
Different kind.
But we did that. And then you know, a brunch can put you down early. And
Mm-hmm.
so we were in bed by 8 o'clock.
Wow.
Just watching TV and went on to sleep. So
Mhm.
it was a good weekend.
That's
Yeah.
I love
Very
a
good
good
weekend.
brunch. A good brunch
Yeah.
never hurt nobody.
Yeah. You know what I've been watching? You talked about TV. Reasonable Doubt. Did y'all watch that?
I did.
So I watched season 1. I watched maybe the first episode of season 2, and I haven't gone back to it, but I do need to go back to it because I've been seeing people like talking about it, and I'm like, dang, I'm missing out. Yeah, I need to go back.
Yeah, I was gonna text you about it, but yeah, it's crazy.
Is Michael Ealy on there? Because when he on the last season?
He was on the last season. You must ain't finished the last season.
Oh yeah, he got killed, right?
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Oh, sorry.
Jesus. Good thing I'm not gonna watch it.
Season 1. Adrian, you need to watch it.
I'm
still
watching This Is Us.
Crying your eyes out.
So emotional. Kate got married.
Spoiler alert.
7 years ago.
That's where I am.
Yeah.
No, but me and Brian be on the no cap recap stuff. What's funny is my auntie, and shout out to her because I know she gonna see this. I was telling her to watch the Menendez brothers things, and she was like, "Oh, are y'all gonna do it on no cap?" I'm like, I don't know yet, but yeah, you better stop. Don't do that. They got a little inside joke going. I don't even know what the joke is about. But they
never gonna die.
Hilarious.
We're gonna keep that alive. We are going to keep that alive.
That's funny.
I'm about to say.
Oh Lord. All right. So y'all want to get into I could do what y'all mad about.
Okay.
What y'all mad about now? What I'm mad about now. And I honestly don't know if I've done this before, but it's constantly something that I'm mad about. So I'm gonna run it back. It is.
It better be them dollar signs.
What? It better be what?
Can I borrow $5?
It better not be them dollar signs. It better not be them.
It's not that. It's not that. It's not that.
I'm kidding.
Because I saw somebody the other day. But anyway, it is Instacart. It is male Instacart.
You ain't talk about this.
It is male Instacart, folks. Because if I want sour cream, don't give me cream cheese. Don't give me cream cheese. Like, what do you like? And also, so on Sundays, I usually do my major grocery haul, right?
Okay.
So that's when I get my stuff for the week, and it just is what it is. But throughout the week, I might need some twos and fews or some little like in betweens.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm ordering all Mexican themed things, right? I got some cilantro, I got some salsa, I got some Mexican cheese. Why would you come up with some cream cheese? Do you see a bagel? No, you don't. But okay, so now I'm communicating with you through the text or through the message, and like this sounds so insensitive. Adrian,
I'm sorry.
It's so bad because it's the truth.
I'm sorry.
I'm communicating with you through the little messenger thing.
Right.
I see you didn't picked up the wrong thing. So I'm like, okay, hey, that's not right. I'm really appreciative. But are you able to get me some sour cream instead? And then the response is in Spanish. And I'm like, okay.
See.
All right. So now, and this, I don't want to be insensitive, but it's the truth. Like a lot of the migrants do
Instacart,
and they be on bikes and stuff. Fine. Cool. But I'm gonna need them to have a partner. I'm gonna need them to have or I need there to be some kind of checks and balances.
Translator. It would be nice if there could be like a translator where I could put in Spanish and it comes out.
No, No. So there is a translator, but like, stop calling me friend. I'm not your amiga. I'm not your
Okay,
amiga.
Janae, don't be mean.
No, I'm not being mean, but don't bring me
I'm
that.
not your amiga.
Not your amiga. Like,
Y'all know
you
say.
did. And so now you open it up to
Remember
me.
Keisha ass said that.
And now I'm saying gracias. And that's not even natural for me. But all right, cool.
Oh,
But they
God.
be messing up. They be messing up. And I don't have time for one thing, like an important thing like sour cream, not to be a part of
Yeah, because you can't replace sour cream with cream
what
cheese.
I'm gonna do? What
Right.
I'm gonna do?
Yeah.
And they are not open to feedback either. They're not open to feedback. And I don't like it.
Well,
I'm mad
on.
about it.
Come on,
Stop.
say, hey, this wrong, cuz.
Hey, this wrong.
Ja.
Right. Like, what the hell? That'd be making me mad. But
Oh
whatever.
my gosh.
Which I'm mad at. That's a good thing to be
I'm
mad
mad
at.
at that.
Mad
And
at
it be mean. It be mean. But I digress. I won't even go into that part.
Detail, huh?
Because
I did see that on Twitter.
The
It was like, I got a
focus
mail.
is-
Yeah, go ahead.
The focus is the language barrier here. But sometimes when there are American men or English speaking men, they still do dumb stuff.
It's still a language barrier.
Yeah. Like, and I'm not somebody like I don't really get produce on Instacart. I don't because I want to pick my own produce.
No,
Like,
that's true though. That's true.
Like, but if it has pictures. And so if you can't match up these pictures, we got a bigger problem.
And
this
also,
is not the feel for you?
Also, why did you give me 4 brooms? That didn't even make sense. I asked for celery. This is not the same
Don't
thing.
even be fitting what I'm trying to do. Come on, there's the theme here. Follow the theme.
Oh my God.
That's all I got to say about that. I'm done.
Right, what they get you for?
They got 4 brooms. I ordered celery and some Fabuloso. This don't even make no sense. They don't even go together.
Oh,
it's ridiculous. It's
what
ridiculous.
You're talking about 4 brooms. That is hilarious.
That business be
oh my goodness. That is so funny.
Adrian, you up next, my brother.
So I had a very interesting week last week. And just long story short,
don't make it short.
I was approached about a position. And
do I need to get on the organ? No, go ahead.
Interviewed the same day. And then I had a second interview the next day. And then I was offered a position the next day. And I started work the next day.
Wow.
Which means I quit a job and then started a new job. And yeah, I'm still processing, which I think is why I was resting this weekend. Because I was like, my mind is just like, I'm just like,
that's a big change.
This has been a lot. And then driving to a whole different part, like I'm going the opposite direction.
Oh, wow.
And the commute's about the same, so that's not bad, but it's still a different, different expressway, but I feel more comfortable going this way. But yeah, so I said all that to say, read your resume. And that's the thing that I think we all should do. So like with this interview that I had, I was asked a few questions about like my work history. And so I was just like, yeah, because I do this, and they had this system and we did this. And then it was just like, don't even flex. But like, if you read the list of things that you've gone through, that you've made it through, that you've overcame, like that is amazing. And I feel like we need to start reading our resume. And that's something we can all get better at because it's you give yourself credit, but then you don't want to sound like being all flashy or whatever someone would say. But like, you're doing your thing. And I want that to be our motivation for our energy for the next few weeks, as we transition into this fall and fall's here and that whole thing. But just like understand who you are. Let's understand who we are. Let's get a better understanding and handle yourself properly.
I like
I
that.
have a follow-up question.
Yes,
Come
ma'am.
on,
So
follow
how
up.
did understanding who you are play into you in this transition that you just made?
Because I was in inventory control. And I felt like that was all that I could do. And so when this position presented itself, it was a different like career path, but it was like, but you can do this because of this, or you can do this because of that. And it was me saying, okay, you know what? I can be more than inventory control. Let's remember who we are. Let's show up and let's go for it. Because who's gonna quit a job one day and start one the next day? That's crazy faith. Because what if it didn't work? And like I said, excuse me, I'm still processing it. So that's how that came about. For that thing to say, like I know I want something different. I know that I want something different. So maybe I can't stick to what I'm used to or comfortable with. And I wasn't comfortable, but I was comfortable, if that makes any sense. Like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, I know how to handle this chaos kind of thing. But now it's like, no. Like I put a card on Amazon and stuff for some new work clothes and stuff. Like I am like, you know what? I want to see this. So that's how that came about for me. With just learning who you are and read your resume. You've done this, but you can also do this, or that type of thing. So that will be my wellness tip to us. Just read your resume.
Check that resume.
Resume.
And I think what's something good too is like oftentimes they actually say that you should update your resume like once a month, because if you wait a year and you'll forget about all of the things that you really did, like all of the one-offs, like could you do this project, could you do this project, and that may have only happened like in February, but now you're in January of the next year and like, man, I forgot what I did. So taking inventory often.
I have a really, really difficult time when people ask me what I do, explaining what I do. And I do a whole bunch of stuff, but I just don't have like a real checklist or like, because I don't know, like that is something that every year I say this year I'm going to track like what I'm doing during this month and this month and this month, just so I can get a real comprehensive look at what I actually do from day to day. Because like the other day, some of my basketball players were in my office and they were like, so like, what do you do during the day? And I was like, contracts.
You gave me that answer before.
Right. But like, it is not all encompassing of like what the true job is. But I don't know. I just need to get a better way of, so okay, if I could give you advice, Adrian, as you step it into this new job, because I also feel like when you are able to say I do ABCD things, it can help with negotiation and it can help with like going to the next step or whatever. Like just keep track of what you be doing from day to day, because most of it is not actually in the job description, but it is stuff that you're expected to do. And it's just I need to do better with that.
Okay, I like that.
I feel like the job description is like the movie, but the day to day is like the book. Then you miss out so much, so many details that are missed in the movie from the book. It's like that person wasn't even Asian. How did that even happen? That wasn't even a character.
No, you're right.
Wait a minute,
what's happening here?
You are right.
Right.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be a dinosaur.
Congratulations on the new position.
Thank you.
Congrats. That's awesome.
Thank you.
I can give my bow. BZ offers wisdom. It's a couple things I would love to talk about, but you know what? I'm just going to settle on this one thing. And it's just about wisdom, period. And like I settled on this idea, like unsolicited wisdom is not wisdom at all. If nobody asks you, keep it to yourself. Ain't nobody even ask you.
Man. Oh, dang. Dang.
You gotta read the room, man. You know what I'm saying? You gotta
Can you
read the
repeat that
room.
unsolicited wisdom?
It's not wisdom at all. Because if you're really wise, you would say, maybe this is not the best time to bring this up. I did see this thing on Instagram that I sent to Adrian, and this was a while ago, but basically this guy was talking about how like emotional and rational can't meet. And wise is the person that says, this is not a good time for me to say this. It could be the greatest advice ever. And the example that he was saying was basically he came to a play for a friend or a musical, whatever, and the friends, it was horrible. He said, if it wasn't my friend, I would have walked out.
Man.
He said, I would have walked out.
Dang.
And so the end of the play or the musical came and the friend came down. How did you like it? He was like, now in that moment, was probably not the best time to say, actually, everything was horrible. But he did say, I love to see you on stage. I'm so proud of you for putting all of this together. And then the next day he said, can we go over the musical? I have a couple points. I
have no.
I hate that bullshit.
I got a couple. But as she's getting flowers after and everybody's congratulating her and the cast and you did a great job, probably not the best time to go ahead and do that.
Yeah, don't rain on her parade.
Yeah, you don't have to. And what he said, I love to see you there up on stage. I'm so glad, I'm so proud of you putting everything together. Those are not lies. He didn't lie.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
So
that's
that is, I needed to hear that. As a chronic oversharer.
You know what? Them cheese and crackers actually, people are lactose intolerant, right?
If anyone was wondering, wasn't nobody wondering. You just want to tell them.
Right.
That I have been that person. And so that is something that I've been working on. Like, just, I heard Joe Budden say this, like, is it the right thing to say? Is it the right thing to say right now? Is it the right thing to say to these people? No, it's like right thing to say right now, and right thing to say. I think it is to this audience. Like,
wow, I like
sometimes when you are right now, can you wait?
Yeah.
Is there gonna be a better time for you to maybe share this feedback, or like, is it just not? Does it, like, are you making this moment about you, or is this truly feedback that you think this person needs to hear? And if you kind of go through that in your head before you just jump out there, you will probably jump out there a little less than what you are. So I've been working on that.
That's good.
Because again, sometimes I could just be like, but yeah. So,
and also I think if there had to be a 0.1B to it too, is when people are like, oh yeah, I'll just tell it like it is. I'm just brutally honest. It's like you don't have to be so brutal where you like absolutely hurt every single person you tell the truth to. Truth is it cuts enough. And to be honest, the information that you about to give that person, guess what? They know. They know already. Know. They know it internally. They know. Unless you just
you ain't the first one to tell them.
You're not the first one to tell them.
Shut up, Beatrice. Shut your ass up, Beatrice.
You don't have to be so like just, oh my goodness.
It's brash. And that, like, and this could be the episode, but
because this is good.
This is good.
I am enjoying it.
It's the like, well, I am who I am, like that kind of thing. And also, I saw another quote that's like, honesty without consideration is brutality.
Yeah. That's why people say I'm brutally honest. But those two shouldn't even go together.
But brutal mean nuck if we bug. Like, I don't want you to come at me like that. Like, soften it up a little bit for me. And also, like, again, do I need to hear this right now? Maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the delivery. And honestly, well, I don't care. He don't care. Sometimes me and my partner, we be nugging, arguing about things sometimes. And recently we've been trying to do something new. So if a lot of it be miscommunication, right? So verbal miscommunication can sometimes get misconstrued because it's what you're hearing versus what the person wants to be saying, and the emotions step in at that time, and you just could end up in a place that you don't intend to end up. And actually this does go into kind of what we're talking about today.
It
But
does.
the other day we were arguing about something, and he truly heard something different than what I was meaning, right? And so I thought it was very thoughtful. Like, he just made a note in his phone about how he was feeling about what I did, and shared it with me. He was like, I'm not going to share it with you now because I don't want to ruin. I was playing bingo. He didn't want to ruin my bingo. But
Yeah,
I know. And then when I read it after, I was like, oh, yeah, you heard me wrong. So it just made my response able to be a little bit softer than what it would have been if we were just talking. Like we would literally have been like this had I not had a little bit of separation. And also, like, sometimes I feel like he's a talker. I'm more of a listener, but when he get to talking, I will tune out a lot of the stuff that he be saying. But like, having it in writing was just like, okay, this does have an end. This is how you feel. Fine. Then I was able to craft a response that probably was more thoughtful than normally. So,
yeah,
yeah,
that's
your girl,
good.
Nobody
your
has
girl
a
be working.
nobody has a real blueprint to any of this. Where any
Child,
relationships, parenthood, being a son, being a daughter,
all
being a
that.
brother, being a sister is no right or
It
wrong
ain't no
way to.
joke.
Well, it do be some wrong ways to do
It'd be some.
It be some wrong ways. It
it.
does.
But sometimes you don't know it's the wrong way until he's like, "Ooh, okay, yeah, that was
Yeah.
wrong." Until it's done already,
Yeah.
you know.
Yes. But that kind of leads us into the topic for today.
Yes.
Um, and I already kind of came up with a title because it's true. Emotions, but no Twista. Okay. We are talking about the movie Inside Out today because it is just so full of lessons and like stuff that you can learn from a kids movie. Like, I do think
That's
that
not a
a
kid's
lot
movie.
of the Disney right, a lot of the Disney Pixar, like, I love the movie Coco.
Oh
Mama
yeah.
Coco. Yeah.
Yes, like, I just think they do a great job of taking like these huge topics and kind of breaking it down so that it is appropriate for kids, but then also, like Adrian said, it doesn't feel like it's a kids movie because as an adult, I'm watching it and gaining so much from it. And so I just kind of want to talk about some of the stuff, like some of the themes from the movie, and just make it kind of applicable to where we are right now.
Oh.
So first, have you guys seen the movie Inside Out? One.
One
We're
and
talking.
two.
We kind of want to focus on one today because maybe we have a part two of this later on.
Okay.
But
Oh, okay. I'm
number
about to
one,
say, yeah, for
y'all
sure.
both seen it. Okay. What
Yeah.
were your initial thoughts after watching it?
Adrian, you go first.
Ain't nobody told me nothing.
Nobody.
So these are actual emotions that are me, a part of me and who I am, and it's not wrong. And you can feel this way and like, wait, this is a thing, or is this why I do that? Like, I was like, wait a minute,
Mind blown.
this is not a kids movie.
Yeah.
This is not a kids movie. Like, and so that's where I was like, just seeing so much of myself and like learning things about myself or things being revealed through the movie, and just me just going down the rabbit hole. So man, I enjoyed it. I
Yeah.
enjoyed it. But that was
Yeah.
definitely my jam. That was definitely my jam from that one. Yes. Oh, I missed that movie.
B, what about you?
I loved it. I feel like I'm like you. All of the Disney Pixar movies and Kanto. Yeah,
Yeah.
Coco. Yeah, all of them. They
Okay.
be hidden. They be hidden.
Yes, they
For sure.
do.
Yeah.
So, a description that I found about the movie for anyone who maybe hasn't watched it, you should. But the description says after young Riley is uprooted from her Midwest life and moved to San Francisco, her emotions, joy, fear, anger, disgust, and sadness conflict on how to best navigate a new city, house, and school. So, Riley is the main character here in the movie, and most of the movie takes place in headquarters, which is her brain, where her emotions lie. Which I just think that for a
That
kid, like it makes me think about like if I was a kid watching this, or like these kids now, how much far ahead they'll be just with things like emotional intelligence, just because they get exposed to it in this very creative way, but also in a way that they can truly understand.
Yeah.
So in Riley's head or headquarters are 5 emotions in the first movie. So we got joy, and joy is kind of running stuff, right? So joy, if you
little
think
pixie.
about it, your little blue pixie cut, yellow girl, right? Um, joy is, as a child, probably the emotion that is most decisions are made from. You really haven't experienced enough to
Have
have
any
a
other
lot of
emotions? Yeah.
those other emotions really leading you, right? So as a child, you just want to be happy, you want to be cheerful, like it's very easy to make you happy, so it's very easy for joy to be the one that's running the headquarters. um Accompanying her is sadness, which girl,
So
get up off the
sad.
floor.
So
My
I
wife
sad.
hated saying. She said, "If that
sadness.
don't get up out of there,
Thank you. Get up, sadness. Like she just a frumpy dumpy, like
Eeyore."
Eeyore kind of character for sure.
Mhm.
And so the way that the movie kind of goes through Riley growing up, sadness gets introduced obviously as a baby when she's crying about
Whatever.
things
Yeah.
that babies cry about when they're younger, or even like
Yeah.
going into her, because I believe she was a preteen during this time. Um, and as she moved to a new city, sadness was trying to kind of take over her emotions because she was meeting new friends, new environment. They got to the house. The house was like kind of shoddy.
Yeah.
All of their things weren't arriving right away. So it was a battle between joy and sadness, right? Because she was still, and I'll talk about some of her islands of personality from the movie also, but
Yeah.
she had a lot of things that went into making Riley Riley. She was a good kid, very close with her family, but sadness was creeping in when she was moving. Also present in headquarters is fear. So fear represents the need for safety or caution. And fear is just like a little nervous purple guy.
Little bolt.
With a bow tie.
Right.
I'm talking about
But
yellow bow tie.
always thinking the worst, or like what is the worst case scenario, like what's gonna happen now. So that's fear. We got anger, little red man, hair on fire, very hot, right?
Gets
Always
turned up
want to
about
cuss.
anything.
Yeah,
Oh, for
I always
sure.
want to kill everybody.
Anger kept saying like,
Too turned up.
is it time for me to use that cuss word yet? Like he
Right. Let
was
me know.
TTG, okay?
TTG sitting on ready.
Ready, okay? Represents frustration and assertiveness. He protects Riley's sense of fairness. And then lastly, disgust, which Adrian pointed out, and Inside Out too. She had on a bonnet, little green girl.
With lashes.
She was cute, but she was also like disgusted by everything. So it represents aversion and social acceptance. Disgust helps Riley avoid things that could be harmful. So, my first question for you all is, what emotion out of those five do you feel like you operate in the most right now?
Skepticism. No, probably
Joy, sadness, fear, anger, disgust.
joy for me.
That's beautiful.
Nah.
That-
You said, however, me.
That is.
yeah. Wow. No, I love that. I
I
really
do. Same. I love
Yeah.
that for you. Not always my story. I think. I think fear is one for me for
Yeah.
sure. That I've been experiencing. And then not so much anger. I can have a little joy. I still have joy. So not even little. I have joy. I have a decent size, like a decent amount of joy. But I will also say that I can acknowledge the fear that's there and discuss kind of.
Yeah.
I don't know what. Yeah.
Discuss, enter the video, your video right now when y'all was on the bus in New Orleans.
Let me tell you.
We about to blow New Jersey up.
I was like, what? You was already leaving the Black Cat, the New Orleans Black Cat. And then they had us hooked to the back of a pickup truck.
Hey, guess what I smoke, okay?
I was sitting there holding on. Like, I'm not gonna go like this.
Yeah.
For all, let me just add some context really quick. For all that don't know, Adrian was with his family, and Finito was playing by Chief Keef, and everybody knew the words except for who? That guy. He did not know the way. He didn't know what was going on. He's just like, this is not my
It just started happening like this.
And I just feel like, though, let's just pause for a second, because how do you not know the words to Finito? Like, where have you been for the last 10 years?
Okay, so I ask you this.
Because if Finito come on, I know.
At what point in my life do you feel like I've told Alexa or I've like searched through Apple Music or any? I just don't. And it's no shade to it. Like, I've heard the song. But
no
again,
shade to Brother Keith.
It's always too much. My nervous system is like, whoa, wait a minute, guys. Okay. We're in the 5th Ward or 9th Ward, and it was a lot going on.
Okay. All right.
But I don't care. I am who I am.
You are.
I am who I am.
You are. Yeah. So for me, back to Inside Out, I would say right now, currently today, I make a lot of decisions from a place of fear. And I think as an adult, fear of not ... is what is kind of the driving force for me. Like, I don't want to miss a step or not be where I'm supposed to be, or like, we go through these like checkpoints of like, okay, I always get really reflective around my birthday. Like, okay, last year at this time, I was doing what? Now, where am I? How am I? Whatever. So I definitely know that fear of not having or not doing or missing it will probably be the top emotion that I operate out of. But at any point, any of those five are very present for me. Disgust, because social acceptance, like nobody wants to not be liked. Nobody wants to not do the right thing in other people's eyes. I think disgust would probably be an Instagram queen, right? Because she would be someone that would know.
Yeah, she was very bougie.
Very bougie, very with the times, very like, I don't want people, like when she would enter a scene, I feel like all five of these emotions like were highlighted in some ways, but her thing was like, as Riley was coming of age or as a preteen, like, I don't want to be the one to jump out there and look stupid. Like, I'm not going to do that right now. And so sometimes I think for me, the disgust emotion is the one that wants the approval of other people. In my mind. So, yeah, I don't know. Sadness be there, but I think I know how to. There was a scene when Joy was like, "Hey, Sadness, good morning. I'm gonna draw a chalk line around you, and your job is to stay right in here today. Don't move." And she still ended up coming out, touching core memories, and like making away. But that was just
really sad.
Glasses. She not gonna stay in that box. Who you talking to?
She needs to stay over there and read. But she ended up being very useful later on because she was reading the manuals about the brain and long-term memory and stuff like that. So another component of the movie was the core memories, right? So each of the islands in Riley's headquarters represented a portion of her personality, right? So the islands that were present were Family Island. So that represents her love and connection to her family, highlights the importance of family relationships in her life. So her family was her mom, her dad, and they were very tight. As they were moving, her dad's job transferred them to San Francisco. But mom was very supportive, and she was very much so looking forward to just a new situation. But I don't think moving as a preteen is easy for anybody. But Family Island was still chugging on, being strong. Friendship Island reflects her friendships and social connection. This island symbolizes the bonds that she has with her friends and the value of social interactions. So obviously, as she moved from Minnesota to San Francisco, she was trying to create new friendships. And for a preteen, we know that could be difficult. Her first day of school, her teacher asked her to stand up, introduce herself. And as she was doing that, she got really, really sad. Sadness was up in there touching all kind of stuff.
And girl, sit down. What you doing?
Right. She ended up like just talking about the fact that she played hockey and remembering that she was not going to have the same community that she had before. And so Friendship Island was one of the first islands in her personality to crumble when things started kind of going wrong. Yeah. Goofball Island embodies Riley's playful and silly side. It represents her sense of humor and joy of being carefree. So as a child, there's a goofball element that we all have that is just like the innocence of a child at that age. So her and her dad would like make these monkey noises. And one night when she was pissed off about just her day at school, I believe it was something like that. And dad tried to do the little monkey thing with her and it just fell flat.
Not having it.
She was not with it, right? Like she was laying on the floor in this disgusting new home of theirs in her sleeping
ain't nobody
bag.
cleaned it.
Like, ain't no goofball up in here. So like the maturity, like, yeah, it was a maturity, but also that goofball island is something as a child you want to make sure it's constantly present because that's the innocence that you want kids to have.
Yeah.
Honesty Island signifies her value of truthfulness and integrity. It illustrates how important honesty is to her character. And I saw more of this in the second movie. She was always like, they didn't show much of her friendships in the first movie as opposed to the second movie, but she was like the innocence of a child again. How many times have kids said like, that's ugly, or it's stinking here, or like, stuff like that? You ever seen kids that are just like upfront with it? Like, I got like 2 of
them. Fam, have some coof.
Don't say that. But no, kids are they just bred to be honest, right?
Mm.
And then lastly, Dream Island represented her aspirations and ambitions, highlights her hopes and dreams for the future. So she was a hockey player. She was very much so a competitive hockey player. And as she was transitioning from one area to another, she started with a new team. She had some doubt or fear that about how hockey was going to go for her. And so her dreams began to kind of fade about the direction that she was headed when it came to hockey.
Mhm.
So, questions that I
Oh, man,
have.
that was good. I feel like that was good. I like
Thank
that.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be shopping.
So that's just overall. So I don't want to tell, although if you haven't watched it at this point, like you late, but there's a conflict in her head with joy and sadness. And it comes to a point where sadness has to take over, right? Joy was very almost delusional about how Riley could navigate the world, right? Like Joy is just always like, no, everything's great. Everything's going to be fine. We're going to do this and she's going to be in the right place and blah, blah, blah. And sadness, meanwhile, is like
Girl.
walking. Do you all remember like they got to the long-term memory and sadness was being dragged and she was just touching all the core memories. So all of Riley's memories were turning from something positive to something negative.
Mhm.
And that spoke to puberty and just kind of how on the surface you might feel like something is a good memory, but if you dig deeper, it's like, well, we was broke at that time.
Mhm.
Or
Mhm.
mom and dad were arguing at that time. So, like, yeah, I could
Mhm.
find a little piece up in my room, but there still was a lot of dissension
Mhm.
happening around me during that time. So, again, I just thought it was done so well
I agree.
to explain how emotions kind of work.
Mhm.
Questions that I have for you guys. So, how do you think your understanding and expression of emotions changed from childhood to adulthood? And like what kind of influences do you think changed your emotions from childhood to adulthood?
I think definitely Goofball Island shrinks a lot, and
Yeah.
being pessimistic
Yeah.
grows a lot.
Mhm. Mhm.
A whole lot. And when you see, I feel like also to take it a step further, when you see a person who is almost like gullible or aloof, you are like, wow, you did not grow up, huh? Like, or you like it's something wrong with you essentially. Like, how could you geek out like that, you know?
Yeah, and so like pessimistic is kind of like when I maybe I would say like a combination of sadness and fear starts to take over the joy because you start expecting the worst, or you start just, oh, look at them over there having fun, they don't even know what's coming. Like you
Right.
start having this shade
Mhm.
Yeah.
of doubt
Yeah.
I think it's a
over
little bit of
situation.
disgust too. Like, oh, I could
Yeah,
never do that. I could, oh my God. No,
yeah,
it's not gonna happen.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Wow, that's deep. I think something for me, that's changed from like childhood to adulthood is like sadness. I feel like what I remember as a kid, I was just sad because I didn't like how something felt, or how something made me feel, or if I got a whooping, or something like that. Whereas now as an adult, I strive to understand why I'm sad. And
Mm.
sometimes I can discuss it, and then sometimes I just gotta sit with it by myself or pray about it. But so now it's just a thing. So even when I'm sad, it's like I could be like, I know that I'm sad because of blah blah blah, but I'm gonna be sad. Like even though I know what it is, I'm still gonna be sad because I need to feel this and I need to see just what's going on with this. And so now it's a matter of I'm sad, but why? Whereas when I was a kid, it was just like I'm sad, I didn't get my way or this didn't happen. But now it's like let's get to what's going on with you, kind of thing. So that's how my sadness is for sure. That's one of the big ones that I feel like is a difference. And then like I don't know, because joy, I still just be expecting just like the unexpected. Like no matter what I see, I can be like, all right, can I get this on pump? Like, I could be in that space, but I also can be like, this can change tomorrow. Or this.
Yeah, so I think too, like obviously we know each other well. Adrian, I think you have a strong optimism personality island. Like that, like you are always kind of
very
expecting the best or knowing that it's gonna work out, or like, and no matter how difficult the hand you may have been dealt, like you still, I feel like joy leads for you. And I'm not an expert on any of this, but it's just like the race to joy is something that you are led by more than a lot of folks.
Oh, thank you. I'm like, thank you.
You're welcome. Agree. Danae, what about you? What change have you seen?
Yeah. I think that I would say the last, COVID did something to you, girl. Mm-hmm. It really did. Like it really, really made me just given a lot of things and situations aside eye. I've had experienced some loss. I've just kind of had some rough things happen the last year within my family, and just loss and overall. And so I think I looked at life probably from a space of joy. And it's not that like I'm trying to get back to looking at life from that space of joy, right? So that being the number one filter that I see things through. But lately it has been a sadness, or it's been like a fear. But as a child, I was green. I was ready for the world. I was like, just knowing that I, not in like a, you think you know everything way, but like, if you do A, B, and C, then D is going to happen. And then after that, you get presented with E, F, G, and then you choose one. And then each one, like I had a very narrow view of how life could work.
That's so
and, just and from Inside Out 1 to Inside Out 2, different emotions begin to get introduced. Mm-hmm. And so in Inside Out 2, you get anxiety. You get boredom, which I thought boredom was really funny. Let me look it up real quick. Envy. Ennui.
Yeah.
Which is that Henri? Have our parents been saying it wrong the whole time? Or maybe mine was.
Wow, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I think it's Henri, but maybe black folks just been saying it wrong all this time. But
like NYC or Nietzsche,
right? In Nietzsche,
I'm gonna still call it a Nietzsche. I don't care what nobody say.
Exactly. But I think I am at 36, almost 37. Like, I'm sure that the headquarters that I got up in here, they be battling all the time. Because,
and how many different emotions do you think you have? More than 5?
You can't be serious. I got about 50 of them things.
Right, 50.
I mean,
they done mixed together.
Yeah, but life just kind of makes that happen,
for sure.
Right? Like,
for sure,
something will show up. Like, remember, again, because we'll come back to Inside Out 2, the puberty button hit for Riley. Mm-hmm. And child, when the puberty button showed up, like, everything that used to work didn't work no more, or it didn't work how it used to, or
and like, no matter what they did, that puberty wasn't going nowhere because they put it in the machine and sent. Remember that part?
They came in there. they was wrecking house in headquarters.
Mhm.
They just start tearing stuff, pulling stuff out the wall, and I think that is
Why are you
really
doing this? I
cute.
don't know.
Yeah, right. It was that, and so I think for a child, puberty does that, but I think for adults, trauma can do that.
Trauma
And
could definitely
so
do that.
a trauma experience can like make what you thought was normal just be like I'm crying at a ear of corn. Why are you crying at an ear of corn?
Mhm.
Because it made me think of this like, and then don't talk about being a woman, because I feel like we got a little extra something creeping around there that just like unplug stuff every now and again. Um, but I think my emotions are very complex. I also think that they can be a mixture of some of them sometimes where they like playing double dutch with each other.
Yeah, for
And
sure. Y'all
yeah,
ain't even
I'm
supposed. How did you get here? You're not supposed to be here.
nobody.
Yeah.
Okay. Nobody supposed to be here. Um, so coping mechanisms were introduced kind of towards when sadness and joy. Let me back up. So sadness and joy clearly are the baseline emotions. I would say the two extremes, right? Joy, sadness, joy, and
In
pain.
pain, sunshine,
Okay.
rain.
We miss you,
R.P.
Frankie.
Frankie Beverly.
We miss you. Um, but the negative emotions that were present in headquarters were obviously anger, fear. Like I don't think there's anything positive out of anger. I don't think there's much positive that we can get out of fear. What strategies do you guys use to cope with the negative emotions like anger or fear?
I can go first. I
Yeah,
embrace it. I,
you
th- I
are.
I I embrace it. I
Okay.
feel like a lot of people want to like shy away from it, but they're there for a reason. You know,
Yeah.
um, yeah, they're there for a reason. And
When is the
and
last time you got mad? Like, like when the anger man, his hair was on fire.
On
Like,
fire. Buzz cut.
mm, I mean, probably like the last one I could say, probably when I got into an accident. I was
um,
pretty mad because my kids were in the car with me,
mhm,
so that
mhm.
was a pretty upsetting situation. But you know what? Anger for me, I don't stay there. Um, I
I
mean, I'm
can
pretty
say I have never seen you mad. Like,
because it doesn't
Right.
really is I would much rather focus that energy. It's not serving anything. If you could like if you've been mad and then you said something out of anger and you know what I'm saying, it's never
mhm,
it's this is never gone well. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
yeah.
let me take a second, let me breathe, let me back up, and then we're gonna focus this into something productive. Even though like we could still be upset and we could be, you know what I'm saying, but it's not.
Mhm.
I just feel like it don't do anything. Like when people get road rage, what are you doing? This is so dumb. And here's the crazy part: they can't even explain like why they're so mad, why they're seeing
Yeah.
red. It's not conducive. Me as a black man, conducive to just like want to mess stuff up, like what they was doing in the movie. They was ripping up the control board and everything like that.
Right, right,
You know
right.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That is not conducive to anything. It'll make things way worse. I think that's another thing I think about. I just have like foresight to be like, man, if I do this, then this is going to make things a lot harder on myself, not on anybody else. I'm gonna just
Mhm.
end up working harder anyway. So yeah, I'm
But you
I,
should also know that that's very rare. Like a lot of people make decisions out of anger,
anger.
right?
Yeah,
Or they like you don't seem to be a person that allows anger to even set in. Like your anger man probably like this small compared to like your joy.
let me
Man,
at him. Let me at him.
right. It's just like anger. Go over in the corner or lock him in the bathroom or something. But like a lot of people are not like that. So that is really
you
good.
you know what? I feel like also the people, the men that I look up to in my life, they got their emotions in check. And if they don't, that's what I don't want to be. So something can happen,
Mhm.
like, and you could just be like, they could just be as cool as like the other side of the pillow. And it's like, you know what, that really did upset me. However, this is how we're going to move forward. And that ended up helping everybody around them more than a person. You know, like I always hate to see like a couple, man or woman, you know,
Mhm.
one of them is just going off the rails. Like if they at a movie theater and they got their ticket wrong or something, and now
Somebody
she
stepped
cussing
in
out
front of them
everybody.
and like, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and then the the
Ooh.
the the man, the spouse or whatever, trying to bring them back. That's never just a good look at all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
You're
Ugh.
right.
I
You're
could go
right.
on and on, but anyway,
He said, "Ugh."
I don't like it. I'm disgusted, actually.
Yeah, right.
This-
No, but that is commendable because child, some people be letting anger run they headquarters
And
and then
you
they
can't
be
be
in
around.
jail.
You can't, right? Exactly. You can't be around me if you got a high head like that.
Yeah,
No, thank you. Mm-mm.
I feel that.
What about
Adrian,
y'all?
what about
I don't know
you?
how to come up behind that. That was Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
Whoever
Um,
thought Inside Out had all of this
like so
reflection,
much.
right? Mm.
But I think a way that I deal with fear, or I'm learning to deal with fear. Because it'll show up in one of the books I read. It was talking about being emotionally hijacked. And so fear would show up. And so then I've gotten to the point where I'm like asking myself, like, what is this? What's going on? What's this feeling? What you scared of? And then like even like on This Is Us, like doing like the worst case scenario kind of thing. Like it'd be little tools like that I use to
Mhm.
kind of handle, because I it's been a season where it's been a thing. And so it's like not enough to just be scared, but let's say, okay, so I know this is happening. I'm gonna feel this, but I'm also going to, to do my best at handling this in a way that, that serves me, kind of thing. So that would be one example for me, with managing like a negative emotion kind of thing.
What about you?
Yeah.
Man,
I think it's different for anger versus fear. For me, when anger, if I'm truly angry about something, it is tough to reel me in. I let anger kind of fly.
so you be at the movie theater cussing the people out.
I don't do that. I don't do that
You have to
because
restaurant cussing people out.
no, because my disgust kicks
It's
in.
high.
Then it's just like, are
Yeah.
you
Okay.
that person? Like, are
Right.
you
Right.
really
Right.
about to be doing that? But like
Mhm.
within my personal circle, when I kick into anger gear, I typically shut down. I That's why I'm very difficult to navigate sometimes because I either shut down completely, no words, no nothing. I will give you nothing, or I will give you everything. And
Huh.
I will talk about your mama. And I will,
Huh.
like I will go off the rails. And so as I am maturing, I think anger for me feels exhausting.
It
And
is.
so if I go into like true angry mode, kind of like what both of y'all said, I'll take a step back and say, okay, how much space does this really need to have right now? And is there truly no, have you exhausted all possibilities and this is all that you have to give right now is yelling, cussing, and acting a fool? If that's all you have to give, then this is probably not a healthy situation, but I'm sure there's probably something that you could contribute that could bring that pot boil a little bit down. Turn the fire down,
Yeah.
Jim Scoop. So that's anger for me. And I don't get there very often, but when I get there, it ain't pretty. And then for fear, I'm still navigating how to deal with my fear. Um, like I said earlier, I do feel like fear and anxiety leads the charge for me in a lot of situations, just because I'm an overthinker. And so the way I've explained it to my therapist is like, everything for me is like a flow chart, right? So situation A, okay, I deal with it this way or this way. What are the outcomes if I deal with it this way or this way? Okay, and then I go to this part. What can I do with this way or this way? But like, it's exhausting because I'm thinking of 64 different possibilities for, am I going to make a left or a right here? Like it's draining. It's draining on your girl. It's hard. And so again, through therapy and just through my relationship with God, like, I am able to stop, breathe, say, okay, what's really happening here, and not what nuts story are you making up about what the potential outcome could be of this. And let's not deal with, if there's 128 outcomes, let's not deal with 64 of them. Let's just deal with the 64 that are more likely, and then maybe within that 64 we could break it down to 4, and then that's easier for me to navigate. But it is, I don't think I've ever like transparently talked about this, but it is something that plagues me. Like, it's tough for me because I'm always trying to think about what other people are thinking about me. And so it keeps me in bondage in some ways that I'm ready to let go of, but I know that it's baby steps to get me there. But I'm not about to keep on doing this.
No, a follow-up question, and not that this is a therapy session. Do you feel like do you feel like do you want people to think that you are like a good person, or that you did the right thing, or like whatever the case?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. I always want to, I don't want to knowingly make the wrong decision. But sometimes like I am guilty of not wanting, I don't want anybody around me to fail, right? But I am guilty of giving more to help that person than help myself, or to help situations than to help myself. Or to, and it's not that I need to be selfish, but it is that I am willing to extend grace to others more than I'm willing to extend to myself. And
so you need to be more gracious, almost, not
more
selfish
gracious, right?
to yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think gracious has the negative connotation, right? But like,
You feel
some
like gracious
people,
has a negative connotation?
no, I'm sorry, selfish.
Selfish, yeah.
Selfish does. So sometimes I think that, ooh, and this is a therapy session.
I missed my beat. I should have been a therapist.
You should have, right? People that want to hurt you will call you selfish. They won't acknowledge the graciousness and what you're doing and what you're extending. But what has happened to me is sometimes like I trick myself into thinking like, okay, am I being selfish? Or like, is me extending myself a little grace here at the expense of someone else? And then I will always choose someone else rather than to choose myself. And that is not great.
I feel like I dealt with that a lot, but then I don't know if it was through the course of like movies and TV shows, whatever. I'm not sure, but it just came to the point where it's like most people have their mind made up anyway. Maybe I watch too many lawyer shows, and it's like I mean, you could do a million things. That's like I think it was Maya Angelou, and if it wasn't her, it was somebody else. But basically, they were saying that's the trick of racism, is basically people saying you're not educated, you don't have the credentials for this. But then he's like, oh no, I am educated. I have a bachelor's and a master's. Well, you're still not like, you still don't have like the life experience. Oh no, I do have the life experience because I've been doing this for 5 years. So you're constantly trying to like prove to this person that you're worthy, and you just lost 12 years.
Right.
12 years.
I'm trying.
And so that person, those people, they already so instead of like making sure that they think that I'm doing the right thing, it's just like do the right thing. No Spike Lee. And the people that got some sense anyway, oh yeah, that person tried their hardest or whatever the case. But some people who don't even have, they can't even think of you in a good way. They were never going to think of you in a good way. So it's like it don't even matter.
Yeah. A word.
And all of these things are much easier said than done.
Yeah.
Put it in life application.
Much
You like,
yeah.
Wait a minute, brother.
Yeah.
Especially when you talk about people that you love and people that's been around you for a year. And yeah, it's a whole.
Now that's the one. That's the one right there.
You know, I saw this TikTok where this black therapist was talking about how it's so hard to in the black community to dissect the mother, like your mother. Like they were like, your mother is in your mind like as close to Jesus almost. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, this person did you wrong and blah blah blah. It's like, yeah, but that's my mama. So it's really hard very hard, so hard. So when you get you ain't gotta say that. But when you add in love, when you add in love and family to all of these things,
yeah, complex. Okay,
is so complex.
That is probably the biggest feedback that I've gotten through therapy is like, I am a title person. So mom is supposed to do this, dad is supposed to do this, sister's supposed to do this, cousin's supposed to do this. Like I have very small boxes of what's in the realm of what each friends are supposed to do this. Co-workers are supposed to do this. And I don't leave room for the gray area. I am very black and white. Gray is not really my color, but gray is grace because you are allowing the two extremes to exist, but also knowing that there's not one way that a cousin has to be. There's not one way that an aunt has to be. And you have to leave space for people's personalities and people's own experiences and their own traumas and their own like it can't just be what I define as what these people are to me. That's if that
works for you.
Right. If that was the case, then I would be ruling the world. And so I'm clearly not.
Clearly I'm not.
Clearly I'm sitting right here. Got to go to work tomorrow. So
got to go to work.
So yeah, Inside Out, y'all. That is a good movie. If you have not watched Inside Out, please go watch it and watch it with like your adult eyes, like not looking at it as, oh, this is a little kid movie. Like I'm not gonna get nothing from it, because if you open up your eyes, there's so much. Like we didn't even scratch the surface of
so much.
Some of the stuff that is in that movie, and we just talked really about the first one. The second one, even more complex, because again, you're looking at puberty. You're looking at she was a hockey player, which, side note, I think I want to be the hockey coach for Halloween. One of my kids told me that I should be that because she was a black coach. But lots of more themes are introduced in the second movie as she's growing and getting older. So I suggest you go and watch Inside Out.
$1 billion movie. $1.6 billion at the box office.
Woo!
Not a hard, not an easy feat to pull off. It's only like 55 movies that did over $1 billion.
Wow!
I'm ready for Inside Out 3. because I started writing it.
No.
You sound like my daughter. She's like, can we? Because for a while it wasn't on Disney Plus. She's like, can we watch the new Inside Out? I mean, come
Where
on,
is
Daddy,
it,
make
right?
something happen. Make something shake. What's
Can
going
you
on?
call them and get
Can't
Inside Out
wait.
2 on here?
Dang, hurry
Like
up.
I know it's another one.
Aw,
We was just
that's
at the
cute.
movies. This ain't the same one.
Oh, well, thank y'all for indulging me
Whoop-de-whoop.
in some Inside Out talk and a little therapy session. Emotions, no Twista.
No.
Emotions,
Okay.
no Twister. For sure. Well, you go ahead and bring us out, Nay.
Okay, well, hey y'all, them emotions be whooping your ass. Mine too.
Mhm.
Be
I didn't
whooping
read this in the notes.
right, it's not in the notes,
Not
but
new emotion, surprised.
Right.
surprise.
Why
Try
is the
to
boy purple?
remain actually decent, and you'll be all right.
Yeah.
Show on up, check in with us, tell us
Well,
about
follow
your
us on
experiences.
Facebook
Mhm.
and YouTube, and comment and let us know y'all take on Inside Out 2. Let's talk. I mean Inside Out 1. I'm sorry. Well, 1 and 2,
One.
but let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Danae, I love
Yeah,
it. I loved how you broke that down.
thank you.
Broke it
Yeah,
down.
like
So meet us back here next week, y'all. Episode 15 in the books. We done did this 15 times.
That's
Yeah,
kinda
Hopefully
crazy.
y'all have watched it 15 times. Yep. Uh-oh. What? Oh.
Oh yeah, I that's coming up.
You should have been at the pop out concert on stage.
Right. Ooh. Ooh. Brian, remember when we was watching the pop out? That was
Who is Pop? What?
That was Kendrick concert
that was
in the
one
summer.
of the best nights of my life.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was
Me and
really
Brian was like,
yeah, we was
texting
texting back and forth. Like, yeah, that was crazy.
Euphoria out the gate. That was nuts.
Yeah,
But
man.
all right, y'all.
I'm
Look
probably
at
watching
Adrian,
the podcast.
confused.
I watched the podcast, but anyway,
But actually decent.
yeah,
We'll see y'all in the
out.
next one.
So, bye.